We're gonna build a tiny house in The Sims 4 today, but with a twist. This time, I don't get to decide what we build, and instead, I'm gonna spin a wheel to determine how the build turns out. I think I'll start in Newcrest because it feels like a pretty safe bet, but we may end up having to move this, and all I know so far is that it's going to be a tiny home. And in The Sims 4, there are 3 different tiers of tiny home. The first one, a micro home, has a max of 32 tiles. The second one has a max of 64 tiles, and the third one has a max of 100. And they all have different perks they come with. The smaller the house is, the better the perks are. But we don't get to decide how big the house is. Instead, I'm gonna spin a wheel to determine which tier of tiny house we're going to build. I'm really hoping for a small home. Okay, never mind. Medium, it's a tiny house with 64 tiles. That's fine. I mean, this is 64 tiles, so it's gonna be really little, but at least we can potentially fit a second floor. There's like enough space to have a separate bedroom with a house this size. When you're building a micro home and you only have this much space, there's not a lot to work with. So I'm happy with medium. I'm happy with tiny house. The next problem is that I want to spin for the number of Sims who live here, and this could turn out really bad because I've put 1 to 8 Sims on this wheel, and we only have 64 tiles. Okay. 4 Sims. That's actually fine. If we had gotten 8, I would have been really stressed, but I think we can manage 4. We have to probably put 2 bedrooms then. Maybe we have like the parents in a room and then the kids could share a room. I may do it all on 1 story as well, just because I think it'll be a little bit easier to not have to fit stairs in. We almost can't afford to waste space by putting in a staircase in this house. I do have 1 more wheel, and this one is for the color theme. And on here we've got every color of the rainbow, white, black, brown, gray, and also just outright rainbow. And I don't think that everything in the house has to be this color. It's not like a solid color challenge, but I wanted to have 1 major color. No. Oh my God. Oh, there was bound to be something bad. I hate red. That's my least favorite color. My actual least favorite color. Okay. You probably noticed this, but I never build a red house. Do we have to have like a red exterior then? Ugh. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, tiny house, 4 Sims, and everything is red, apparently, is the vibe for this build. Normally when I'm building, I'll make a box and then I'll split that box up into a floor plan. But I think in this case, because we have such limited tile space, it might be better for us to build out the rooms first. So we could have primary bedroom, the kids' bedroom, a little bathroom, and then, oh, okay, that actually fits. And then the rest of it is just 1 big open space, I guess. That's not really the vibes that I was going for. I think I might prefer to steal some space away from like right there. Maybe we can add it on to another side. Okay, I'm just gonna put some filler furniture in here so we can kind of visualize the whole thing a little bit better. I will swap it out to be red in the end, okay? I promise. But I think the primary bedroom might fit like this. Obviously it's very tight, but we can fit a nightstand, they can have a desk and a computer, and then we can also have a dresser in there. And I think that's the best way to do it because it covers all the bases. I think we should definitely have a shower tub combo in the bathroom, and then we can fit everything else that we need. But that way, if you have a dog, you can bathe it. If you have a toddler, you can bathe them. There could probably be like a bookshelf by the front door, and this will be the front door like right here. Maybe we do bunk beds for the kids so that we can fit plenty of space and they can have toys and stuff still. I'm not 100% sure about how to do the kitchen. I wonder if I could steal some space. That does make the bedroom a little bit smaller, which is kind of sad. I really wanted the kids to have a lot of room. Maybe it goes like this. That's kind of weird, but we could like put some toys back there in the corner. And then we have a big kitchen and a big living room. I think this is probably a bunch of wasted space with the entryway. Oh, you know what? What if the front door was on the side of the house? So it'd be something kind of like that. Maybe we could split everything up and do it differently. Okay, my shower tub combo concept is kind of out the window. Oh, this is a really weird bathroom. I've got the door next to the front door now. And I was kind of just thinking like, what if the kitchen cabinets went like that and the living room? No, you know what? It was better before. I don't know what I'm doing right now. It was preferable the first time. I've made a huge mess of everything. This is better. Just stick to it like that, Kayla. Well, you know what? I guess the bonus of doing it like this is we could probably have a bigger dining room. Dining room, she says, but we could put it in this little nook and have a 3rd chair. Okay, I like that. I think that's fine. Let me think about the roof though, because I haven't like 100% figured out if this is actually even how I want to do it. In hindsight, I probably should have thought more about this part sooner too, but I did not. So that could be okay. Let me look for doors that are red. I'd like a door that has a red accent, but like the trim around it is white. Oh, like this. Okay, that's super red. That is a very bright and kind of scary color. I'm gonna delete all this because it's throwing me off. I would also love to have a fenced in backyard. I think that helps with this feeling a little bit more like a proper front door space. We could probably get some pretty landscaping right there next to it. Any roofs come in red? Actually, yes, they do. But I don't think we should do that. I think what we actually want is to have red wallpaper. So that's the base game red. There's also the red that comes with growing together. That's a little bit darker. And then the door kind of, I don't know, the door is kind of dark. But oh, maybe that's better. It's still red. It's still a very red door. Oh wait, I was about to try and put like a trim up there. I can't. I have to use like the plain base game one. Oh man. I was gonna go and build a room so I could put a trim, but that adds tiles that we can't do. I'm thinking since we're doing this and there is like a red shingle, that looks kind of good. I guess I'll put the shingles on all those top floors. Does that come in like a true red or no? No. It is red enough for it to look good. Oh, now I'm like scaring myself thinking that it's not red enough. But like what other red would you possibly use? That's so red. Okay, I put in some windows. And that helps too. It looks really pretty in there. It's kind of bright. Do we pick like kind of a cherry toned wood floor? Oh, I've never used that before. I can honestly say I've never used that color before. You know, I think there was probably good reason for me never using this floor. And yet, here we are. Okay, here is some of that base game red tile. I never use that one. I always use this one. So I'm struggling right now in my own head to know if I should use that or not. I think I will use a wooden kitchen or like something kind of plain and creamy because we have a lot of red going on already. We don't need to have red cabinets too. I mean, we could, but I think if I did that, I'd want to tone down the red in other places. Oh no, I think I'm gonna do it. No, let's just commit. This is the only time I will probably ever do this. I guess the one problem is the red cabinets have pink as the accent color, and I don't like that. Why do you not want to fit on this wall? This, oh my God, this cabinet is so annoying. Maybe we just do it like that, because that's fine. And it works. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking for the kitchen layout. I'll add clutter to it in a second. I just wanna make sure we have the rest of the room laid out first, and then we can come back for small details. I like the idea of this because it does help to break up the red, but then it kind of becomes like red, white, and blue, and that's not really the energy that I'm going for. That one might be okay. And again, the whole house doesn't have to be red. I don't want our intentions to get lost here as we try and do this. It just has to have red as a major color. That's what I was going for. So we can have other colors. We are allowed accent colors in this build. And you know what? I like that. I think that looks really cool. We just need to find a cool chair to put in the corner. And I'm okay if the chair is red. It's just gotta be cool. That's the point. It needs to be interesting. And like maybe a different shade of red or something. Ooh, that's kind of like a plum color, but it's got a pillow. Oh, no, this one. That brings it all together. That's exactly what we need. We also need to have a coffee table, but I'm kind of tempted to size down the coffee table. I want this place to be like walkable, and we've made it quite tight, so yikes. I mean, it's a tiny home. We knew it was gonna be tiny. We were prepared for that. I will say I'm not super obsessed with the bright white on these. We could do the wood color, but I don't really know if I like the butcher block, because I feel like if we do that, we need to match all the other wood in the house to it, and there's not a lot of stuff that comes in that color. Oh, you know what? That might actually bring some of it together. Let's try that honestly is the saving grace. That kind of put it all in one. We've got the darker wood and the lighter wood in one item. And it's smaller, so it actually fits better too in the tiny space. Okay, I'm looking for something kind of reddish for these dining chairs. A lot of the red is like kind of different vibes than I'm personally going for. I wonder about these little ones. Does that look okay with the circle table? Some curtains to split it up. What kind of red art is there? Wait, why does that like kind of match though? I don't know if I've ever tried to put those. It kind of has the right color scheme. Those look a little bit more modern to me than what I was going for, but the energy is appropriate for it. Are there little flowers? Little red flowers? Maybe this one? A bit more subtle. I could possibly use the big plant in this corner too. Okay, how about this shelf? That's so good. It even has the blue. It's got the slight blue accent. I do wonder, I don't know if they can get into this third chair, so it might be better just to have the two, but I think it looks cooler when you have all of the chairs. Oh, there's more of the lighter wood. Okay. These might be okay, because this is quite simple. It's just an apple, but hey, it's red, so. Oh, you know what? That's cuter. I never used that either. It even has like the cherry toned wood on the outside. So it kind of matches the floor a little bit more. Maybe we just put a thermostat on this wall because they're gonna need one of those. We could always do a thermostat and like put the trash can right there. So of course the wrong color, but we could do it in white. So they can still get through there, but now we have an indoor trash can. I hate to admit it, but I'm kind of tempted to have like a creamy color on the walls. I also need to get the rest of the curtain rod finished before I forget, because I'm sat here like leaving the curtain rod empty in the middle. Ooh, there we go. I guess if the walls are creamy, the curtains are too stark. So maybe we do white. It brings in the white from the windows, and then it kind of lets the red stand out without distracting from it too much. Oh, that would be fun to use. We should try that in one of the rooms. I don't know about that in this room, because again, I don't want it to look like it's a solid color challenge. Like I don't want it to be all red. I'm trying to space it out a little bit more than that. I'm trying to like add in visual interest of stuff that is not only red. So I don't want to paint all the walls red everywhere because I think that kind of defeats the purpose, but we can get a little yarn basket. That's actually really cute next to this chair. The umbrellas come in red and blue. That's perfect. That's exactly what we're trying to do. I'm gonna look at a couple things from Cool Kitchen because we can't put anything on this counter because your Sims need one to cook, but we can put stuff next to it and like on the wall. Do you think that the knives are too much? Yeah, I think they are. We can have like a cute little cafe curtain right there. I think we could benefit from some sort of art or something on this wall, maybe even a clock. I'm trying to think about like little things like these come in red. So we can get these little cluttery items, even a red taxi. You know what? I don't like this trash can. I was gonna try and use the money one, but I'm wondering if we could use this one instead. I guess that's more of an orange tone and everything else is more red, but we could stick to the wooden one. I may try that. Or I could just have no trash can. We could move the thermostat over there and maybe I could put like, oh, how about a full-length mirror? Because that's good for a small space. They can have trash in the backyard. I tend to do that in tiny house builds. I'm just like, you can keep the trash outside. You don't need to have one inside. I'm kind of thinking right now that the hallway feels a bit like a waste because everything else is so tight and then the hallway is quite open. But I think I need to remind myself that that's not an excuse to make it tighter. Like it's okay for there to be some open space. I don't know if that looks good. Oh, I wonder if we could try that. I guess the other tile isn't really gonna work well with this because it's very different in color scheme. But maybe we could get like an all red wallpaper and we can try and get red in through other means. I am obsessed with this mirror now. This one came out in Love Struck and I've literally used it in like every single room since. It's like by far one of my favorite mirrors that they've ever made. Okay, well I guess the new plan is to like almost tone down the red. I'm like trying to add furniture in around the room that breaks up the bright red wallpaper. Oh wait, this would have been so cute. Oh no, I wanna try and use that somewhere. I wanna try and use the calendar. Okay, I'm putting a painting on the wall. I'm very interested in trying to fit in a hanging plant. I don't know if that'll even work, but I think that helps. And then maybe last, like some little bathroom clutter stuff like those in the shower. That's good. I like that. I know I already picked the wallpaper in here, but I actually might do the kids' room first. I don't know if I've ever tried to do an all red kids' room before. And we do have a few different options. So I'm thinking I might try and use a couple of the different red beds. Oh, the watermelon. Wait, that's kind of cute. Do you think this bed is a problem then? Because it's like a totally different color. Maybe if we tried that one. That is from Cats and Dogs. It's now like 3 or 4 different shades of red in this room, which is of course not ideal, but I'm kind of thinking that maybe that's good because it's never all gonna be the exact same color. And this way it kind of gives us some wiggle room to throw in some like weird random colors. There's so many different directions you could take it because we could try to have like modern vibes. We could try and do like strawberry vibes. I'm thinking I might paint the walls this like lightish blue color. Oh, look at those weird curtains. I don't know if I've ever used that swatch before. No, I can't do that. Not even in this build. I just can't bring myself to. Oh, there's also like this beautiful deep red color. That comes with, oh wait. Oh my gosh, what does that look like if we tried to use it in here? I can't decide if it's like too weird. I would put it on this window too, but it just won't fit because the window's too wide. Yeah, I'm really not sure if it's a good idea or not. I really like the idea of it. I think it's super fun. Maybe if we had something over here to split it up, like the hanging plant. I had that over there previously. Oh no, actually switch that back. Let's use the tall one. I'm just thinking something to put in between them so that we can kind of distinguish them as 2 separate rooms. I think I'm gonna stick to it and I'm sorry if you hate them. I'm gonna try it. Oh, there's a ladybug also. Let me look at all the different kids rugs, because maybe I can decide better. I really like the idea of the watermelon, but also maybe that's too muted. Like maybe that's easier to use in a different build because it'll probably match better in more places. And instead in here, we should pick something that's harder to use. Like we should go for one of the really wacky ones that I never use. Oh no. Oh, maybe that's even too wacky for me. Can I stick to this ladybug then? Oh, this is kind of cool because it's like a little truck. Obviously that comes in a bright red. Do these come in red? Oh yeah, okay. They do. But at what cost? I'm not sure if it's okay or not. I'm gonna size down the dresser and like shove it in the corner back there. I'm going through every single piece of red decor right now. This comes in all red, but I think I'd rather have the rainbow stack because I want to have like a little bit more color. I don't know if this one comes in a, oh, actually that's kind of cool because it has a lot of red accents, but it's also got some of the blue that we're trying to use. Okay, I'm trying some fairy lights. I don't like those, so never mind on those. Oh, these ones? Okay, that has like kind of a rainbow vibe to it, but that actually helps. I feel like that helps to tie in the blue wallpaper as well. Now I'm thinking about maybe like a poster or something from high school years. They have like little teeny tiny Minecraft posters, and there's also little cork boards. So I might get that. You can't really even see it when you're zoomed out, but we know it's there. If I put this up against the wall more normally, they can still walk through that, right? I just kind of liked it being on an angle, even though maybe it's less practical. I'm trying to think about like little things that we can put next to this just to help take up space. Okay, I'm trying to scoot the door because I want to have enough space for this thing. Oh, I probably could have sized that down also. Okay, we've got like a little cart there. So the cart is good for like art supplies and things like that. I'd love to put board games. Yeah, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta try and get these at the right height. Maybe we try it like right there. The alt placing of this is so chaotic. Okay, so we've got like a stack of board games for the kids in their room. And then last, maybe we try a couple little toys. Just kind of put them on the floor. It might not hurt to have a little teddy bear over there too. Okay, and maybe that's the full kids room done. It's very chaotic. It's very small and it's very red, but I think that's what's fun about it. And then last we have this primary bedroom, and this one's gonna be a tighter fit. I also don't really want to have like an all red bed. I might even be okay doing something white, but I don't know. Do you think we can make this one work? It's kind of pink, but it also has like some of those lighter yellowy beige tones that match the wallpaper. You know, I don't think I like this. I don't really want it to be white though. Maybe I need a different bed. What about the one from Dream Home Decorator? Because that one has like a stripe of a blanket at the bottom. So it's kind of a way, yeah, like that. It's a lighter bed, but it has a little bit of yellow. So we bring in the yellow from the walls. Maybe I could pick a desk that's a little bit more exciting, like this one. I mean, this one is very chaotic, but I kind of like that about it. I think that we need a light colored rug. I'm almost wondering about this one from the Book Nook kit. I'd like to put some artwork that maybe brings in some more color. This one is kind of cool. That's from the Decor to the Max kit. So that does help. It brings in some of the blue, and it also has some more plants. I might get a little plant on this table too. Maybe we try one of the fake hampers. That's the one from the base game, so it doesn't work like a hamper, but it looks like something you might have in your house. And then maybe I leave the room like that. I'm not super thrilled about it. Maybe it's the bed. See, I like that, but it doesn't match the walls. The red's way off. I like that, but then I feel like it's too much red. Oh, you know what? Maybe that matches the vibes of the house a little bit better because it's a little bit more colorful and we kind of have these mix and match colors going on. What about that? Is that good? I think the interior could probably be done. I'm really liking it so far. We definitely need to do a lot on the outside. I haven't even touched the outside. Okay, starting with bushes kind of around that part of the fence. I may scoot it all over just a tiny bit more. We're gonna need to have a fence gate because I have failed to do that so far. I'm not really 100% set on what the heck? That deletes the bed? What? Me putting floor tile down deleted the bed. Oh, it comes in like a more reddish color. We were using that one. Let's use the more red one. I really don't know what to make of this game sometimes. Like sometimes it does these things that are so baffling to me. I don't even know how to, anyway. I put some flower boxes. I think I'll put the trash can right next to this so it's easier to access. I think I like this little stripy red table because that's kind of cool. Maybe we put a grill next to it. Oh, the grills even come in red. I don't know if I've used that before. Let's try that. I guess we have this like kind of slightly craftsman vibe to the house. So maybe I'll get some accents. Like some of these little pieces might be helpful. I'm trying to decide what kind of landscaping I want to do. And I'm thinking that maybe it needs to be a bit more manicured because I was gonna do like some classic Simsie landscaping, but after I started putting it in, something about it just looked a little bit off. What if we did that and we had some little grass below them? And oh my gosh, look at this. We can get like a little kid's bike and then also an adult-sized bike and put them next to each other right there. We could also maybe do a half wall instead of a fence because the half wall is a little bit bigger. I just don't like seeing the bottom of these flowers because I feel like they're so, I don't know, cone shaped, I guess. I want it to be a bit more bushy at the base. Okay, here's what I've got so far for the front then. Ooh, is that too wide? It looks kind of ridiculous. Nope, nope, nope. Undo, 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 undo everything about it. Okay, after trying like 15 different things for the landscaping, I've settled on classic Simsie landscaping. I have just gone back to what I always do because I don't know, nothing was looking good to me. Everything about it I thought looked kind of weird. I wish it had a foundation. I guess you can put it up on like a 1-high foundation and that still works, but I don't know. It's a tiny home. We gotta be careful. Okay, I put some more landscaping in the backyard plus some planter boxes, and now I'm thinking maybe the last thing I'll do is add some monkey bars back here. Maybe the monkey bars and then like a couple more flowers in this little section. Does this come in red? Oh, I've never used that before. Oh, that's kind of fun. Okay, well I think that's the house finished. Aside from like last minute little terrain paint parts, the terrain paint is helping. I was still feeling really unsure about it, but I think with a little bit of terrain paint, it looks more finished. I'll just get a little bit underneath the monkey bars too. And then, oh, I don't know. The front looks weird, doesn't it? Do we need more plant? No, please don't do that. Maybe the problem was just in how the plants were laid out. Like if they were too big, now they're a little bit smaller, it's less bad. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've done it so many times. For some reason, it just feels wrong. I gotta stop. I gotta call it. I gotta say that's fine. It doesn't even look that much different. It's so similar to how it was before, but I think it makes me feel better. I think I prefer how it looks now. I'm putting a couple plants in here too. I didn't put plants in the backyard one, but I think it's better to have at least something in the front, unless that's too busy. Oh no. I gotta stop. Maybe I do no plants. The fact that this house is so tiny and it has taken me this long to build is honestly embarrassing, but I think now we can say it's done. So it is a 4-sim red house on 64 tiles, and it's a fully functional, cute, tiny house. It's not a starter home. In fact, it's like $50,000, which is ridiculous. What if I called it a tomato tiny home? Because it's all red. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna upload it. It looks cute in the gallery photo at least. So there's that. Oh my gosh, I really overthought that whole thing. I'm sorry you had to watch that, but this is the finished product. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Blame the wheel with the red. That really threw me for a loop. I was not prepared for that, but I did the best that I could and I'm happy with it. So thank you for watching. Have the best rest of your day and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. I'm pre-recording right now because my friend's in town and I was like, oh, I'll build a tiny home. It won't be too long to record. Wrong. It took me forever to record.